A nice hay.
A nice hay.
As you may have heard, it is a spooktacular month. It's October. It'll soon be Halloween. And what better way to celebrate than with this game right here?
What game is it, Danny?
Well, it's a little Sega Saturn classic by the name of Mr. Bones. I'm honestly shocked that we got people in the chat during the pre-show who have actually played this game.
And love Mr. Bones, so thank you. You're in the right place.
If you haven't played Mr. Bones, well, let's just go ahead and start it up. This is a very special game to me. I love it.
Everyone's, we got chat saying, or talking about our new logo, saying AP equals advanced placement.
Mm-hmm. It's a replacement for Gifted and Talented, yes.
Oh, Nelson was showing you this game. Is that the one who introduced you to it?
Possibly? I know I've had this game for many, many years. It's one of the few Sega Saturn games I kept after I sold off my collection like a decade ago.
This game was good, though.
Yeah, I know. I can't get rid of it.
Good.
It's... I'll go over this, but it's a love-hate kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure everyone who has played and loved Mr. Bones has a certain hatred for it.
As you do with all good art, I say.
Yeah. It makes you feel all the emotions, not just the good ones.
New world. Every night the army of darkness gains more soldiers. Tonight, the world will be mine.
This guy's cool!
Yeah. That's Dr. Degulian. He's resurrecting skeletons for his own evil business. I don't know what that business is. Maybe he wants to set up an internet marketing campaign or something.
The darkness of purity will descend upon the earth. Then there will be no more conflict, no more struggle between good and evil. There will only be evil.
Necromancer Fraser Crane, Teeter!
Pure.
Go home!
As pure as the black.
It's really good! Fuck you.
Only in absolute purity can absolute beauty be found. And the only purity there is evil.
Want to control skeletons? Learn percussion.
Yeah. Yeah, Chad's mentioning, Donkey Konga.
More skin on these
It's a real
bones?
good thing to do.
Man, you know I got the blues.
Don't you hate it when you're the lone good skeleton resurrected among hundreds of evil skeletons?
As, TMBT13 called him, fucking, Fraser Grave here.
Oh, I see.
I hate being the nice skeleton.
Somebody's messing with something he shouldn't be messing with. Now we're living proof of that. Undead proof, anyway.
Interloper.
How does a skeleton have lips?
Purity. Hey, let's not get personal now. You will be dissolved.
I can feel it coming in the air tonight.
Do 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 do
Sorry.
do 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 do. Oh, that's good. So that tells you a lot about Mr. Bones. First of all, it's FMV and CG together at last on your Sega Saturn. Second of all, as you'll see through these first few levels, it's hard to nail down a specific genre that Mr. Bones is really going for. These first few levels are pretty traditional side-scrolling kind of things, but it gets away from that very quickly. I should also warn you, this game makes a horrible first impression. If you play just the first 3 or so levels, you will think this game is absolute garbage, because
But we promise, it's actually really interesting.
it's going somewhere. You'll see. It's not just skeletons throwing rocks at other skeletons. Even though that is a pretty good premise for a video
Game
game.
Quarter's waiting for Neil Peart to make an appearance.
is he good or evil?
Well, I don't know.
Which side would he be on in the skeleton war?
Well, Game Reporter's saying that they'd probably be fighting Drum Guy, but I think they may be an evil drum person themselves. We don't know.
Yeah, maybe he's like pushing for skeletons to be self-made men. The Ayn Randian prophecies are being fulfilled. Should also mention this part controls horribly because they're trying to put sprites on top of a FMV background, a la Final Fantasy VII. Which it works when there's a spiky-haired guy riding a motorcycle. Not so much when you're trying to put a platformer on top of it.
Yeah.
It works, but only in the loosest sort of sense. You'll probably hear me occasionally mashing buttons. That's because after Mr. Bones gets hit a couple of times, he starts to lose his bones. And when you encounter one of his missing bones, you need to mash the A button to gain enough skeleton power to put it back on your skeleton body. Somehow
Again,
I'm not.
if you like skeletons, this is your game.
Somehow I'm not making any of this up. But
No.
yeah, this is the definitive skeleton game as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, man.
Sorry, Undertale.
Well, who's to say this game didn't inspire a lot of the skeleton portrayals in Undertale? The sensitive
That's true.
skeleton portrayals.
Yeah, this was the first really sensitive portrayal of a skeleton in a video
Even
game.
more so than Decap Attack?
Oh, he was more like a weird...
He was more zombie, I
He was a weird
suppose.
corpse mummy or something like
Yeah.
that, yeah. This is just a straight-up skeleton. Held together with black magic.
Spooky.
Oh boy, direct hit.
Perhaps comparing the movement to more like Prince of Persia, kind of.
Yeah, in fact, this game was motion captured, which is kind of unusual for back then.
Oh. Get out of the hole, Mr. Bones.
Not just running, but other activities that skeletons partake in, like jumping and playing the guitar.
Oh, yeah.
They motion captured a guitarist for his guitar parts, and I died. Not
Rip.
surprising. Not surprising for Mr. Bones.
Oh, he turned evil.
So normally this game is just rough. It will beat you up. It will attack you, both with insults and with fists.
In Bones?
And bones. And trying to play through this without cheats or anything is an exercise in complete and utter frustration. Luckily, there's a code that gives you access to all the levels. And that's what we're going to do, because I don't think you want to see a skeleton die over and over again.
There's been too much skeleton death lately. Let's move on to skeleton life.
This is a good month for positive portrayals of skeletons. Again, with the release of Undertale. Not to go too far into it, because some people haven't played it. You should totally play Undertale. But it does have a skeleton dating segment. I can say that. It's in the Steam page. And and it's cool.
A lot of people are really angry about that in the news.
Are they?
Well,
I saw some Steam forum thread where someone was all like, "Do I have to date the skeleton? I'm a guy. I don't want to be gay."
Is there an inherent homosexuality in dating a skeleton?
I don't know.
I say that as a homosexual. I don't know.
When you're reduced to a skeleton, it kind of eliminates the whole gender binary, you know?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Skeletonism is the true non-binary form. I was so busy thinking about that, I died very
You're
quickly.
so busy thinking gender politics and skeletons that you went off the rails.
Oh, freaking skeletons! I'm gonna try that level again. That was
Okay,
that was
you're
a
gonna
poor
do the
showing.
mausoleum now, huh?
I want every level to at least get a fair shake.
Yeah, exactly. Every skeletons have no gender, and they have whatever. They're whatever you want them to be.
I like that you can make the loading screen letters explode. A nice touch. Well, now Mr. Bones controls a little bit better because he's not on top of FMV. He's still a little awkward, a little clumsy.
So, does Mr. Bone, if Undertale makes you gay, does Mr. Bones make you a blues musician?
Oh man, yeah, it did actually. I beat this game and then I later went on to learn how to play the guitar.
I can't believe it.
There was about 15 years in between those two things.
I was gonna say. Now everybody everybody's talking about the skeletons that, like, the art of the skeletons where they put, like, titty bones on it so you recognize the
Yeah,
one from
isn't
the
that
big-
weird? Where they have to show a lady skeleton, so they have to add, like, bony boobs.
Bone
That's
boob.
even weirder.
That is
You're
even
making
weirder.
it stranger.
Don't do that, Mr. Boy. Mr. Bo! Just like my shirt!
Oh my... Oh,
Mr. Io.
jeez. So, as you can see, this game is brutal. It pulls no punches, even on level 2. And it will take you several hours to get to where the game gets its most interesting. So to really dig into Mr. Bones, you have to have patience, first of all.
To really dig.
Like you dig up a skeleton in a
Like this dead
graveyard?
skeleton, yeah. It's in the valley. Man, he's gonna have the worst accent. Sorry, I'm from Southern California. I'm gonna make the worst jokes. I apologize.
I get you. And finally, we get to a traditional side-scrolling platformer sequence after you've probably spent an hour dying over and over on those levels. Luckily, there's no continues in this game. You can straight up just start from the last level you left at, no matter what.
Do you miss question from chat. Do you miss cutscenes when you skip levels?
No, you do not.
You don't? Nope.
And that's why I'm doing
That's why
this.
we're doing it, because the
Otherwise,
cutscenes are
I'd
actually
suffer through it.
important, Yeah.
As it is, it's just not worth it. I can show you more of the game this way. Hey, guess how long it's been since I've played Mr. Bones?
How long?
Quite a while. Quite
Oh,
a while.
where'd your legs go?
I lost them. And some parts are motion captured and some aren't. Like, the enemies look way worse than Mr.
I
Bones
was gonna
does.
say, is Mr. Bones without legs smoke-capped?
That's a very interesting question that
Oh, like,
adds-
I'm gonna go with chat. Which skeleton did they mocap for, like, half of this?
Oh god, okay, what's a famous skeleton I can say?
Was a famous skeleton.
Name a famous skeleton.
I literally only know one, and it's Lucy the Australopithecine, and that's only because it's famous in physical anthropology for its importance to our understanding of evolution. I don't know of any other famous skeletons
Okay.
other than Lucy.
That'll do.
It's Lucy.
Now, I stepped on that blue tombstone and absorbed its essence. Blue things in
Oh,
this
thank
game
goodness.
are your health. You need that to have your magical essence. Your life bar's in the upper right. The more of it depletes, the harder it is to put yourself back together after you lose your points.
Chat's got three more significant famous skeletons for me. We got
Okay.
Manny, he'll count.
Oh yeah, Manny's a good
Elephant
one.
Man skeletons, those are extremely important, yes. And Skeletor.
Skeletor!
One-Eyed Willy, as well.
Man, we got skeleton experts in the chat.
Yeah, I like y'all.
Teach me about your skeleton ways.
We need more skeleton experts in this world.
Looking to broaden our audience. Bring in your skeleton
Yeah,
friends.
just
We're friendly.
yeah.
We want to hear their story.
Bones Jackson from Mutant League Football.
Wow, good pick.
The skeletons from Skeleton Dance, my gosh. La Parka, LA Park, that's a famous wrestling skeleton, you're right, man. All these famous skeletons. The Monkey Island skeletons, everybody, gosh. I have
Here we
never
go.
felt so uneducated about skeletons in my life. Thank you,
I
Chad.
hate to say it, guys, but I think I need legs for this part. Let's go find my legs.
At least you still got your your hip's gone.
This, yeah, it's a mechanic that does affect how the game plays. Eventually you can just be a skull bouncing around on a spine.
I
And
don't know.
if you don't have arms, you can't do your magic attack. If you don't have legs, you can't jump as high.
As a dude with chronic hip pain, I'm a little jealous. It's like,
Just rip off that
yeah, I
hip,
wish I could just like throw it away.
replace it. Where are these assholes hiding my legs?
That's me every day, man. Could you not take my legs away?
Eat those. Really, it's supposed to spawn them at some point, and yet that is not happening.
Oh man, other theme park expert, TMBG13, is asking if robot skeletons counts, because there's a robot skeleton at Disney's Hollywood Studios. I'll say they count.
I got my bones back. They hid them underground.
Why
thinking
would they
I
do
wouldn't find
that?
them there. You know those red-eyed skeletons.
I'm actually with Badger about why doesn't he just steal the bones from these other skeleton things hopping around. I'm totally with you. I know they wouldn't fit, but screw it.
Skeleton bones are incompatible between bodies, sorry to say.
This is why I'm all for open source culture. I'm just saying we wouldn't have this problem if skeletons and bodies were open source, and you can just mix. We wouldn't have a lot of problems. You can just mix and match body parts, you know?
Okay, my life bar is at the point where if I take a really hard drop, my ankles break and my legs come off. So I can't jump too high.
Yeah, Bronson also makes a good point. They're just femurs floating around. So at one point, you know, they wouldn't help you.
Okay, here we go. Lost my... That may be the most annoying part of Mr. Bones. Trying to make a huge jump, and then when you land, Mr. Bones goes, "Oh, my ankles!" and just loses everything.
Mr. Bones, why?
It's like you're controlling a 90-year-old grandpa or something.
Well, hey, are you bone? Oh, where's your other bone?
I lost it at some point.
Oh no! Oh, this is so sad. Where's Mr.
Okay, can I do this with just one leg? That's the question. Like you haven't got a leg to stand on.
Oh, that was fast. Thanks.
What?
Oh, nothing. I forgot that another person wasn't helping out with chat, so they got to spam before I did. Thank you.
Ha! Take that, spammers. Can't spam Mr. Bones. I think
This is where they all want to be, Mr. the Bones chat.
Mr. Bones' wild ride. I don't think I'm gonna be able to make this jump. The rest of the level is similar stuff. Wait, was that my leg? That would be an arm. This level may be unwinnable. Kill me. Take my skeleton essence.
Poe.
Poe.
Same.
There we go.
He's turning evil.
He's evil again. I believe this, after this segment, is the turning point of the game. This is where it's really going to win you over, trust me. This is where you'll find out, hey, this is going somewhere. That
This
begins
game
with the
actually
next
turns
cinema
super
sequence.
interesting. Just trust us on this. We wouldn't show it off if it was too boring.
I'm going to shut up for most of this, because I like this part.
Alright, here we go. Same.
Love those ghosts!
Yeah.
I'm stiff as a wet sheet in a cold snap. You better face facts, Mr. Bones. They ain't gonna leave you alone. Some red-eyed devil's gonna make his bones tonight. Yeah, maybe I should just let him. What's that sound? And maybe there's a hotel I could hole up in. Some gingerbread house, bed, breakfast, skeleton hotel. I don't know this place, but I know that sound. But how do I know?
Is someone out there? Who are you? What do you want?
Love this
No,
developer.
no one's out there. Either come
I'm a
inside or be
developer.
on your way.
I'll explain in a second.
How does that thing do that? It would make that pretty noise.
What, have you been dead for 50 years? It's called a guitar, son.
Love
Why don't
that.
you try one on for size? Don't think about it. Just play it. There you go.
guy's a fan of Jimi Hendrix. God, the Sega Saturn is the best system.
Uh-oh, sounds like I'm back in serious jelly.
Are you messing with the Gullion?
The Goulian?
The man with the drums.
Yes, sir, we are messing.
You'd better hang on to that guitar. It might come in handy.
Thanks. Later on. How about that? One chord and I wigged him. Now, y'all can't talk, but you can listen and maybe even feel.
I was corrected greatly by chat, and I'm glad I was.
Uh-huh. I'll go into that in a bit. This part is
I was
very
wrong.
loud, so I will just focus on finishing it and moving on. But it rules. These are all timed button presses, by the way. But it's
You know
kind of
what-
freeform.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's cool.
That's like really awesome.
It is, and that part actually works pretty well. It's all in time with the beat.
They don't make them like they used to. Good thing I've got a sense of humor. A situation like this could be downright depressing.
I guess so. So as the chat mentioned, that segment with the blind man in the cabin, that is Ronnie Montrose, the guy who
That is not a
composed...
programmer. I was being a dick. I apologize.
No, it's
I do.
it's fine. He actually composed the soundtrack for this game. The whole thing.
Which is really cool, actually.
Mm-hmm. I can't think of any other game where the game is so tightly tied to its soundtrack and a specific artist, and yet the artist is mostly secondary to the game.
Mm-hmm.
This ain't like Revolution X with Aerosmith or whatever.
Yeah, you don't see him just like constantly popping out and being like, yeah!
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad, because that'd be kind of terrible.
If you're not familiar with Ronnie Montrose, he is a session musician from the 70s largely. He played mostly on other bands' stuff. I guess most notably he did the guitar track for the Edgar Winter group's Frankenstein.
Wait, what?
Yeah, and
Oh, okay, okay.
and also their other hit song, Free Ride. He did the guitar part for that. So basically,
Sheesh.
he is he's done some of the most defining licks in Southern rock, basically.
Oh,
And he's also the
wow.
composer for Mr. Bones. I was reading up on him. He apparently just ran away from home at 16 to find his music career in California, just like Tenacious D did in The Pick of Destiny. Wow,
Just
I got
tossed
cornered.
between those guys.
Mm-hmm. But that's the dude. He has a cameo in the game. I think they dubbed his voice for some reason.
Yeah, because he sounds like a weird Scottish guy.
Yeah. So after that cool part where you went over all the skeletons with your hot guitar licks, the game turns to shit again.
Mm-hmm.
It presents 3 back-to-back levels that are all very, very similar. They're all extremely difficult platforming levels. And while it's kind of fun to slowly make your way through them and master them and finally beat them and be like, screw you, Mr. Bones, you can't beat me. I don't have the time for that shit right now.
Yeah, that's cool when you're a certain age, not cool when you're in your 30s and you're like time is
but it's like a 15-year-old Sega Saturn owner, you would appreciate a game that gives you a good 20 hours of gameplay spent dying over and over. And for this game, it's worth it because you want to see what's next, especially after that guitar solo. You're like, you got me, Mr. Bones. What's up next? What do you got for me? And he does not disappoint, for the most part. I think I saw in the chat earlier someone said that the middle part of this game is super great, and the beginning and ending are just kind of whatever.
That would be the Mr. Bones superfan in chat, the Ultima. Thank you.
Yes.
For, by the way,
thank you for showing up, by the way.
Yeah, thank you for bringing Thank you for.
I'm glad a fellow fan exists.
Yeah, we're glad. Yeah, guys, yeah, we're glad you exist.
It's you and Susan Arndt, my former boss at Joystick, who are the big Mr. Bones fans.
Well, it's good. It's interesting. It's very interesting.
It's a fascinating game. Yeah, it never sticks to anything long enough to get boring. It just when boredom starts to set in, it throws really bizarre shit at you, and you haven't even seen the most bizarre stuff.
Yeah. And I can appreciate games where they at least try to do something interesting with the genre, formula, whatever.
There's a lot of games like that for Sega Saturn, like 3 Dirty Dwarves, which I actually don't like, but I can appreciate.
I don't think we like that. I'm like,
no.
Game's kind of annoying.
Coincidentally, that game was also designed by the guy who designed this game. His name is...
Oh, for reals?
Let's see if I can remember his name.
All
Ed
right.
Annunziata? He is better known as the creator of Echo the Dolphin.
Oh, that guy!
Yeah, he also created other games like Tiny Tank and Colibri, the hummingbird sim for 32X.
Man, I know you don't like Colibri. I like Colibri.
I can respect Colibri.
I respect Colibri.
He's a hummingbird who knows what he wants. Did I just attach my ribcage to my... Oh, it just fell off.
Did you just say Colibri is a hummingbird that knows what he wants?
Yeah. He wants nectar.
Yeah, I would... Where did your ribcage keep going? There's another one. There's like multiple...
Whose ribcage is this? Maybe I found someone else's ribcage. Being a skeleton is complicated.
I was gonna say.
I grab... It won't even let me grab that one. Alright, here we go. Also, just to brag, Mr. Annunziata follows me on Twitter. That's nothing big, he follows everybody.
I was gonna say, is it like a slurry situation?
I'm not sure what he's doing now. So the company who made this, Zono Inc., they have done almost nothing else you've ever heard of. Think Techno Clash for the Genesis. Think Alien vs. Predator Extinction for consoles. Not the good Alien vs. Predator, the RTS that they only made one of and nobody liked.
Oh man, that one!
And they made Mr. Bones, kept on for a couple of years, then they were absorbed by this casual games company called Mumbo Jumbo.
Yeah, I remember Mumbo Jumbo.
Mm-hmm.
I played some of their stuff.
And they're still around.
Huh. I had no idea.
There was a Kickstarter for an Echo the Dolphin reboot or spiritual successor a while back. I don't know if the guy was a part of that, but it'd be cool if he was.
Yeah.
I know he's mentioned he wants to return to Echo at some point.
I hope it's a little easier.
Yeah.
And his games are too... I'll say it. I think his games are too hard.
Yeah, that seems to be a thing with him. He really likes difficulty, and
after... I feel bad, but I feel that ship has kind of sailed, and a lot of
well,
people...
back in the 16-bit days,
that
wasn't just wanted, it was mandated in many cases.
It's actually really interesting.
Yeah, a lot of companies back then made their games artificially hard to curb rentals. The idea was that you couldn't beat the game over a rental, so you'd want to buy it. And that's how games like The Lion King became impossibly hard and unfun instead
Yeah,
of well-balanced.
Yeah, the developers of The Lion King have come out and been like, no, trust me, we're with you, it's bullshit hard, but we didn't have a choice. Disney was like on our asses about that shit, so yeah.
Double Fine did an interview series where they played the game and pointed out, yeah, this part was easier before Disney made us screw it up, and now that's why this part isn't fun anymore.
And that's what makes it really interesting to kind of examine game history with a more modern eye as well, because you see, like, especially knowing that now than, you know, like back in the day, knowing that it was less, oh man, older games are just more hardcore, it's more like, oh man, we had to make the game hard because,
Yeah, in many cases it's not a case of it being difficult, it's just poorly designed. Mr. Bones, I would say, is kind of in between. It's, some parts are decently fun while being challenging, and other parts aren't. It's a very uneven game, which I guess is why I like it. I really like uneven games. If I can't hate a game at least a little bit, I don't like it.
Oh man, chat is very interesting. Talking about how Contra Hardcore had the health bar in Japan, but not in the US because of rentals.
That's another famous example, yeah. So Night of the Bats, or whatever the next one was more of the same. So we're moving on to the famous Rolling Logs level. This, I'd say this is one of the defining levels of Mr. Bones. And it's another one of those FMV platformers, but unlike the first level, I think this one works a little bit better.
Oh man, I remember this level.
Yeah.
I like the atmosphere, I like how bright it is.
Yeah, first of all, it's more colorful, more bright.
Look at his little run animation. He runs like I do. He's like, ah!
Someone mocapped a spooked out skeleton. I also like this because the obstacles are easier to see, they're more well defined. And skeletons aren't throwing rocks at you like assholes.
Thank God.
And the background track is pretty good too.
Look at him go! Look at him waving his little arms. He's having a great time. He's having a great time running in terror from these logs. And Chad's mentioning how hard this level is.
Yeah. Like many levels, it's easy to screw up once and be extremely difficult to recover from. So let's not screw up. Okay, that could have gone better.
I love how lazily the logs are in the air. They're like, ooh, I guess they'll come down eventually. It's great. So floaty.
That makes it kind of fun, though. Yeah, they're all bouncy. It makes it difficult to predict. See, this is the kind of interaction you should have between FMV and sprites.
Yeah, so it's pretty nice.
Why not start the game with this? Why not, I ask you.
People are telling you to run this game.
No.
I love you, Danny.
There's a lot of games I want to run at AGDQ, but this isn't one of them. I can tell you how this will run at AGDQ, I'll say. So this is Mr. Bones, a Sega Saturn game. Oh, I died. Runs over, sorry.
I was gonna say, you'd be pulled, but not for being like a horrible creep. You'd be pulled for being too bad.
So this is Crash Bandicoot 2.
No.
Let me tell you how this game is like domestic violence.
We at least know better than to do that.
Yeah.
Anyways.
That sucks, because that was the only real bad run that happened during, and the rest were all
it's
pretty
like,
cool.
Speaking of which, to all our streamers or whatever in the audience, if you can't think of things to say about a game, and you start talking like that one guy from the Crash Bandicoot 2 from whatever, you check yourself.
It's better to just not say anything.
Yeah, get some practice. Just see how Chad's doing.
No one's going to say, yes, please tell me how Crash Bandicoot 2 is like these things.
Like these horrible social ills, thank you. Everybody is comparing...
I died very quickly. I had a full life bar up until that one part, and then it all went away.
Yeah.
Like bones in the wind.
Oh man, people are talking about that really mean guy who did Kirby's Adventure. That guy stunk because I love Kirby's Adventure, and I was like...
that dude beat up an NES after his run.
Man!
He was like drunk or something.
Anyways, we're not bad enough.
Let's focus on the good skeletons.
Yeah, yeah, I'm with y'all, the Ultima. It's just, you can be good, and you can be great at a game, and you can be, but you just gotta watch. Which is why you should watch us, the Adventure Pals. Support us, give us money. Anyways.
We won't beat up an NES.
We love our NES. We give it a gentle kiss every night before bed and tuck it in. Oh man, it's more Donkey Konga.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, it's like Par Par Paradise.
It's exactly like, it's nothing like Par Par Paradise.
I'm sorry, I meant Dance Maniacs.
Right, the superior hand-waving game.
God.
I will go to my grave contending that Dance Maniacs is better than Para Para. This part is another rhythm sequence, except it's less about rhythm and more about seeing where these little evil sparks are coming in. You have to block them with the drums, you see. They arrive through these tubes, and when they hit a drum, you have to push in that direction in order to start playing the drums. A lot of the challenge is in seeing how the tangle works at the top, because there's a lot of the cables overlap and it makes it difficult to see which drum you're supposed to hit. Overall though, I like this level. It's great.
I love this though! Look at how this is so great!
Plus it's just the concept of a skeleton playing drums. You can't get... That's it. You have a good concept there. You don't need to add anything else. That's all you need.
Look at those! I could just bang on these, Annie. I wanna work. I just want to be a skeleton and bang on these drums all day.
Look at that skeleton. That's the way you do it.
Yeah, play the drums on the Saturn game. I'm sorry, that Felk turned to shit really fast.
Yep. Should have just let me write it.
Yeah, well...
Look at that yo-yo.
Whatever. I was gonna... Smeps? I don't know if his fingers would poke through. I was gonna say his fingers wouldn't poke through because he has such good fine muscle control. But can you have fine muscle control if you're just a skeleton?
If you don't have muscles, yeah, that's the thing.
And now I'm just wondering, how is he moving at all?
That's the thing I've been thinking about lately, about skeletons,
Yeah, we're all thinking about skeletons lately.
A lot of media shows skeletons as these animated, horrible creatures who are capable of all kinds of devious acts, but in reality, they wouldn't even be able to stick together. They need muscles and tissue and stuff.
Yeah.
So it has to be some kind of
Everyone
unearthly
is
magic.
It's magic and the blues.
Yeah, that's right. It's blues power. That's what it is.
See, if we don't keep art alive, then the skeletons will never be able to have their skeleton war uprising. That's why you need to support the arts, everybody.
Look at that. I beat it on my first try.
Beautiful.
What the? Whoa.
Okay, this is where the game takes a turn, and I think you're gonna love it.
Same!
I got going there.
This is the famed middle part people talk up. This is where Mr. Bones goes into another dimension? How are you gonna get out of this one, Mr. Bones? Oh, okay. I'm gonna shut the hell up during this part. Just listen.
The first thing somebody realizes that wants to know what the blues is the first thing they got to realize is that everybody has it. Baby, as soon as he comes out of mama and has the blues. It's not a matter of not having the blues or not knowing, it's a matter of not recognizing, what it is. we think that, just because somebody's got $10 million, they're happy. I can't prove this, but this is how I figure it. If prison ain't the blues, man, I don't know what is.
Yeah, tell me about it.
There's been times when I've just been, just down, like they say, so far I can't see where up is at. You don't know what to do with it. You can't hold on to it inside forever, or you figure it'll bust you apart. And you can't let go of it to anybody because that won't necessarily do any, fix the problem. Sometimes a man's got to cry. He's been brung up to think, man, he's supposed to cry, he ain't a man or something, so he takes his guitar and he just kind of... While he's got this thing before
Did it. So, on the disc, that is a 5-minute CD audio track where it's just that guy rambling over over Ronnie Montrose's playing, and it's fucking awesome. The fact that would just be in the game. It's this minimal backdrop. Also, this part is pretty weird. See, what you gotta do is you find your body parts on this plane where you just move left and right. You gotta bounce your existing body parts across your next body part, which is the ground in this case. Once you find it, you zoom out and you start bouncing across the next body part. It just makes sense.
It's art, okay?
It's art, damn it!
Oh, weird, I see.
See?
Oh, that's messed up.
Skeleton doesn't even know what he is anymore.
Ah! Okay, it's okay, Skeleton. I believe in you.
Ooh, okay.
Ah!
It's a very uncool noise I made there. Now, I wouldn't call Mr. Bones one of the best Saturn games, but if you've played it and stuck with it, it really sticks with you. Makes an impression.
It's difficult, but it has at least enough interesting, artistic, actual, I don't know, design elements, things like that to...
They had a
it's
vision
a nice
for
reward,
this game,
yeah.
and they executed it fairly well. Ah, that was the most difficult thing in the world. I'm glad I did that. Weirdly, I like the parts that veer away from the whole platforming thing. I think if the whole game was nothing but these weird mini-games, it would be a lot better regarded. Because these are honestly the strongest parts of the game.
They're very difficult, but they seem to at least be thematically interesting.
Yeah, they're appropriate.
Yeah.
Unlike... Where did I go? I went off the top of the screen. As it is, it feels like they just kind of... It felt like they had to squeeze in some traditional platforming. Like they were hedging their bets that people wouldn't get this weird game. And you know what? Maybe they're right.
Yeah.
But as an artistic work, I think it would have been better if you just
stuck with
stuff
with
like
the
this.
minigame. Yeah.
Trust your vision, man. Trust your vision of a skeleton bouncing across his future body parts.
We got a lot of good skeleton puns in chat.
Okay, lay it on me.
Um,
God damn it.
we got Brunson said asked if the creators of this were high. Teeter responded that they weren't high at all. They weren't even drunk. They were bone dry.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Brunson responded with, "They sound pretty bone." This is beautiful. You will never be. This is the content that we all crave here at
Should
the
just let
Adventure
you guys do
Pals.
these streams.
Actually, yeah. That's why I put you.
Basically what we're doing. We're just like, oh, look at this funny skeleton, and you guys are all like actually making good jokes.
Yeah, thank you. The kind of content we all crave.
We want Mr. Bones to put himself back together, and yet, this is really difficult.
Do it, Mr. Bones.
Yeah, that ain't
I was
gonna happen.
waiting for the humor.
There's nothing humorous about this.
Ah, good. You might say that without the platforming, it would be a skeleton of a game.
That's true. It is the tendons that hold together the. You know what? I'm not even.
We love you, but nah, you guys are.
So after completing Big Bones, you meet Mr. Bones' love interest.
Wait, no. Does she have? Okay.
Oh boy, I wish I had my guitar. What can you do on the moon? You can't even breathe on the moon. What can you do in this world? You can't even love in this world. You can't face the darkness, can't face the light. You can't even live in this world. You can't even love in this world. I don't know your story, ma'am. I don't even know my own. But I gotta get out of here and stop that man from doing what he's doing. Can you help me?
Chat loved the lyrics to that song, as do I. I forgot about the lyrics.
I'd forgotten about this until the second I heard that song, but the Mr. Bones soundtrack has an extended version of What Can You Do on the Moon that goes into other things about other places in the solar system that you wouldn't be able to survive. One of the lyrics is, "What can you do on the sun? You'll be burned to pieces on the sun."
Jeez.
And it's basically just Mr. Bones saying, hey, you can't go anywhere. The moon's gonna fuck you over, the sun's gonna burn you up, the world's gonna reject you. What can you do? You're a skeleton.
Man.
I know this because my dad bought the soundtrack for this game.
I actually, the Ultimo actually linked to the Amazon.com soundtrack page, so,
It's a
yeah.
damn good soundtrack, believe it or not.
I didn't even know they
It's
had
great.
a soundtrack until they mentioned that.
And
cool.
if you like the music in this game, it has a whole bunch of extended versions, including What Can You Do on the Moon.
I'm with Teeter, though. I mean, like, he's a skeleton. He also cannot breathe on the moon. He has no lungs.
Yeah.
So what's he talking about? you
Yeah,
know?
skeleton has a better chance of surviving on the moon.
So, you know.
Being real here. Come to me with your worries, skeleton. Okay, this is going well. We did it.
Hey!
Again, some levels super easy, others not. All this part rules. Just you wait. Well, no, I want to see the next level.
Okay, we're gonna see the next level before we go to break, so don't worry. Oh, dang, I forgot to put in... Well, you guys can look at us changing the disc here.
It's fine. Get ready for the action replay menu.
Oh man, speaking of which, I know that we have some folks who do game history research. We also fell afoul of the world of false action replay codes that have been spread on the internet.
Yeah, some fucker says you can get infinite energy in Mr. Bones if you enter his action replay code. If you encounter that fucker, tell him to go stuff it, because he's wrong. Mm-hmm. I'm very angry at that fellow.
And there's actually a lot of that. I know I've actually run into, as I've actually been on the cutting room floor, I've run into people having to take out AR codes that don't work, so...
Ain't nobody who knows how an action replay works. It's not the same as a Game Genie. Game Genie is for casuals. I don't even know what I mean by that.
I was gonna say, where is this conversation even gone? Oh, pretty.
This is interesting.
Oh, so it is Echo the Dolphin.
Yeah. Yeah, it's 3D Echo the Dolphin.
Echo the Skeleton.
But you don't have an air meter, and there's no aliens. So the way they do this is kind of strange. Obviously the background is FMV, but I guess to simulate Mr. Bones going through the water, he just kind of drifts at will. That's a little annoying. But not too bad just yet. Oh god.
Watch out for the walls, Mr. Bones.
Look, we've all been there. We've all been there underwater, losing all our bones. That's a pretty good atmosphere. A lot of the game does, actually. Maybe I should make a Mr. Bone the director's cut and like just cut out all the platforming levels. So like what
Like
they
a
did.
Phantom Edit?
Yeah,
but with,
exactly.
Oh, with Mr. Bones?
Yes. That's what the world has been clamoring for.
They're like, oh...
I did bad. If you want to beat that level, do better than that.
I'm actually with Lenosner. Maybe you should have boned up on this game before playing.
I
Bow, bow, bow.
can't argue with you there. Can't argue with you there. Next up is...
Oh no, Lilliputians.
Uh-huh. This is what I wanted to show. Stop it. All of you.
You look like that.
Do you think he's dead, Bob? Of course he's dead. Look at him. Maybe we should tie him up to be on the safe side. Bob? Tie him up? What for? Dead. Jim?
Oh, now what? Do I look like a shoe? Get these laces off me.
Oh no. Dagulian's walking bones will get no help from us. Dagulian is stealing my people. He's using them as slaves in his castle.
Little bitty slaves? Oh, that's too cruel. But I don't walk for Dagulian.
He uses arachnids.
Ugh.
See?
Kidnapped by spiders? Oh, the weirdness never stops. I can help you. Look at me, sir. Look at my eyes.
You can stop the spiders from stealing my people?
Sure as my name is Mr. Bones. Now, get me out of this.
Can't play this on PlayStation. On PlayStation, you'll never hear the phrase, "You can save my people from the spiders?" Ronnie Montrose is also credited with voicing the little people. Or at least some of them. So that's pretty great.
No, you can't. You can't stop them from stealing those little people. Look at them, the poor Lilliputians.
There we go. This is what you gotta do. You just run back and forth, stopping the
Yeah.
spiders.
Chat said it was compared it to Defender, and that's exactly what this looks like.
Pretty much. Oh, I lost one. Lost him up there.
Losing so many.
I know.
They're all dead.
Oh man. Hey! I clearly.
Hey! No!
Okay, I got one. Hooray. This is way harder than I remember.
They're all dead, man. I'm like, oh, I can stop this civilization from being eaten by spiders, but no, you can't.
Yeah, no problem, tiny men. I'm a giant skeleton. What's a spider gonna do to me?
A lot of chat on the scientific inaccuracy of this game.
How so?
Well, bones don't have lips, nor do they have,
You saw the way he was animated. He moves his entire skull bones to talk.
or eyes.
Well,
And
those are
teeth.
the eyes are obviously magical. The teeth.
Okay.
Mr. Bones kept his teeth. Not all skeletons have to give up their teeth.
Skeletons have to give up their blues guitar playing ability either.
Mr. Bones, your attack.
Mr. Bones,
Your
Mr.
attack kind of sucks.
Sorry.
No.
I wish this game would become a big part of the American cultural consciousness, just so we could at one point have fanfic called Mr. Boner. It's about Mr. Bones' erotic adventures. Unfortunately, I don't think that will ever come to be.
Mr. Bones' erotic adventures.
If anybody wants to write Mr. Boner. Sorry.
Right there.
Don't do it. Don't do it because of me. Actually, don't do it.
No, that would be disrespectful.
That would be disrespectful to the memory of Mr. Bones in the Saturn.
Hate this.
Also, you can knock down the spiders by jumping above them, too. Apparently, it's a lot easier.
Oh, you shitting me?
Yep.
Okay. Well, I'll be hornswoggled.
Thanks, Ultimo. Yeah, that actually really helps.
Oh man.
Oh man, you saved the run!
I'm owning this now. What are the odds that someone who knows more about Mr. Bones than me is in
Yeah,
chat?
thank you.
I actually beat this level.
Yeah.
It's really great how they put spiders on opposite ends of the entire level.
Yeah, it makes it a lot easier for the player. Hey man, power to the player.
Hey, no one's gonna rent Mr. Bones and beat it.
Oh, hell no. Mr. Bones, Skeletor, slash fiction. Thank you. Finally, someone knows what I'm talking about.
Blockbuster actually did rent Sega Saturn
Mr.
games.
Bones and Skeletor fanfiction?
Yes, they did. They also
Why?
rented Sega CD games of all things. That was nice as a Sega CD owner back then. I got to rent Willy Beamish and find out that it was terrible.
I rented and bought Willy Beamish.
I rented it and then bought that copy later when it was $3.99.
Oh, me too!
Really?
Me too, yeah, when I used from Super Duper, that one video store that I ended up becoming manager of.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
You truly are my other half.
We were a lot alike.
The odds that another person has rented Willy Beamish and then bought that exact copy.
Yeah. Oh, and the worst thing is it's really, really, really scratched up, so it plays and loads even worse than usual. It's the worst copy of Willy Beamish for Sega CD I think anybody ever has.
Giving up on this one.
Oh man, the Ultimo rented Road Avenger and bought a Sega CD for it. We're huge Road Avenger fans here, so
Oh, hell yeah. That's another game I rented and bought, along with Time Gal.
Ah, Time Gal's great.
Blockbuster was a boon for getting Sega CD games after everyone started hating the Sega CD.
Yeah.
Because they clearanced them out at very low prices.
Yes, they did. Oh man, Johnny Bazooka Tone.
I got that in the mail the other day, and I beat the
you
level.
did. Oh, and look at what time it is. Perfect.
So we're approaching break time, but there's one more level I want to show off after
Thank
this.
you, Mr. Bones.
Don't mention it. Now, I gotta get out of here. Whoa! Careful with that leg bone, children. I'm a brittle man.
Bones. We're carrying a skeleton to an icy lake. We carry him so carefully, he's never gonna break. Carrying a skeleton to an icy lake, and his name is Mr. Bones.
Happy Halloween, everybody. So, they take us, because they hate us, to the worst level in the game.
Ah, yes, this is the level that chat's been talking about.
This level is pain distilled. This,
Oh no, it's an ice level.
It's an ice level, it's overhead view, and there's parts where the ice can crack and break and kill you instantly. Controls very poorly. Oh, this part you need to stand over the flow under the water, otherwise you fall in. Yes, there we go. And it gets way worse. It gets so much worse. Oh god! Nope, okay, we're done. That's it. Level's over. We
Wow,
died.
we did it! We showed you all of Icy Lake. Amazing! Great job, Danny.
Hold up! One more level.
Okay.
This is a level we referenced in a previous stream, and I want to show it because I want a game to rip this off very
Okay,
badly.
every developer, every game fan, every critic watching this, please encourage every artist you know to knock off whatever we're going to show you next. I have no idea.
I turned stereo off when I switched discs. That's cool. So, this level, what is it called? Funny Bones, that's what it's called. Start up Unity, start up Game Maker, and start writing...
Construct 2. Make this. Make what we're showing you.
Start making a joke-generating gameplay mechanic for your game. Okay, here we go.
If you play the blues backwards. If you play the blues backwards. While your wife returns to you, your dog comes back to life, and you get out of prison. What happens? While your wife returns to you, your dog comes back to life, and you get out of prison. If you play the blues backwards.
So what's going on here is that I'm making jokes, and each part of the joke is mapped to a different button on the Saturn controller.
What happens? While your wife returns to what happens?
Your joke
If you play
sucks.
the blues.
Okay, I got it.
What happens?
What happens when you play the blues backwards?
While your wife returns to you, your dog comes back to life, and you get out of prison.
Hey, an actual joke.
You have to string it together and in the exact form that the game wants, otherwise that guy beats you up.
Sound totally cool. Sell it and buy a guitar. Now, how do you make a drum sound totally cool? Sell it and buy a guitar.
This game also hates drummers. There's a lot
It's
of
got
jokes.
band jokes.
There's a lot of jokes busting on
The
drummers.
second one naturally became known as the other stayed behind in the cotton fields and never amounted to much. The lesser of two evils.
I see where this is going.
One went to Hollywood and became a famous actor. Two bollweevils grew up in South Carolina. Now one went to Hollywood and became a famous actor.
Let me finish!
One naturally became known as
Okay, you can beat me up.
two bollweevils grew up in South Carolina. Now one went to Hollywood and became a famous actor. The other stayed behind in the cotton fields and never amounted to much. The second one naturally became known as the lesser of two evils.
I like that one.
See, I had to make 5 button presses in a specific order, and the fact that you have to time it like a joke is pretty great.
Squashed them flat and said, a papa, a mama, and a baby tomato. And pretty soon the baby tomato started falling behind.
Oh, this
What
joke.
the fuck are you talking about, Mr. Bones?
I know.
Catch up! 3 tomatoes were walking down the road.
squashed them flat and said, 3 tomatoes. 3 tomatoes were walking down the road. And pretty soon, 3 tomatoes were walking down the road. A papa, a mama, and a baby tomato. And pretty soon, the baby tomato started falling behind. Squashed them flat and said, 3 tomatoes were...
Oh, you fucked up.
3 tomatoes
Yeah.
were walking
But
down the road.
Tarantino was yelling at you.
A mama and a baby tomato. And pretty soon, the baby tomato started falling behind. Catch up.
You died fucking up the jokes.
That was the best way to
That's
end
what,
that.
you died like you lived, messing
Fucking
up jokes.
That's my favorite level in Mr. Bones. And yeah, that is this stream is the reason why you need to own a Saturn, because it has cool games like this one. If you don't have a Saturn, go buy one.
Go buy a Saturn.
After the break, we'll be showing off one of the Saturn's very